Hey, Christopher here with another episode of What's Brewing, and today we're talking about 5 reasons to check out Try Running. But before we do, let's roll that beautiful B-roll. As we get into this video, I want to talk about my health journey and my first encounter with Try Running. On March 17th of 2017, I was diagnosed as a type 2 insulin-dependent diabetic. At the time, I wasn't very healthy and I wasn't very active. I'd been in sports in high school, but in the subsequent years that followed, I really got away from that. So when I began to look for equipment and for gear, I tried out a bunch of different stores. And I remember my first experience with Try Running, and I want to say that it's been consistently like this first experience every single time. Depending on when you watch this video, we've already produced or about to produce a series of videos called Spring into Health. I'll put a link in the description below after that series is out. But for now, we'll just say that it's going to be a really cool series where we get to talk about gear and matching that really cool gear with the activity type that you may be involved with. So let's talk about number 1. Good people. Every business rises and falls on leadership. The business owner and the managers really set the tone for how the organization or the company works, but it's the individual effort of employees that makes the difference. I remember when I first got to sit down with one of their staff members, I could just tell in the way they asked the questions, they were interested in trying to figure out what my needs were. They gave stories about how they use different products and how their style of running or their style of activity really lined up with this piece of equipment, and they started asking me about what I was doing, ultimately trying to help me figure out and them figure out what the best equipment, shoes, shorts, shirt, whatever they were trying to get me connected with was best for my activity. And I think that takes really awesome leadership to find good people, but it takes really good people to make that customer experience feel special. Which leads into number 2, personal service. I cannot say enough about their customer service. They really go above and beyond to make sure that you get exactly what you need, not just what they want to sell. The important thing is, while they sell lots of different brands, and of course everyone has a preference, they really do want to make sure that it lines up with your needs. And they're so committed to this that if you don't like the shoes or they don't fit correctly, you've got 30 days to bring them back, so that way you get the pair of shoes that you really need and you really want. That speaks volumes to me as a business owner and as an employer, that those employees are given the agency and are encouraged to say those kind of things, because it makes me want to go back there knowing that they're not just trying to sell me on something, get me out the door and hope I don't come back. They're building a long-term relationship, and that's one of the reasons why I've come to trust Try Running. It's thanks to those people there, and again, good leadership, good management, and just great employees, making sure that my experience and the folks that I recommend go there have a good experience every single time. Let's talk about their great processes. Now, part of it, of course, is having incredible employees who are subject matter experts and really know their product and are athletic themselves, but also they have systems in place to basically use diagnostic questions to figure out what your needs are, and then they actually have equipment where you can stand on it and they'll actually show you your foot type and then recommend shoes or insoles or whatever it is that they need to get you to make sure, based off of the way your foot is, the arch of your foot, the way that your legs are, there's all these really cool things that they'll show you to get just the right shoe that meets your needs and that ultimately fits your body type. That's really flipping cool. So they have really good processes in place to get information from you and about you to ultimately try to steer the direction of the conversation to the equipment that they think that you need. And then they have actual equipment that they can use to measure your foot and do all these really cool things. Now, I'm sure you're envisioning the old school, put your foot down, this metal thing, they kind of line it up, see your shoe size, your shoe width, and all this other stuff. And yes, they do have all that, but it goes a little bit deeper, where I'll just say that they basically can make a heat map of your foot to see your arch type. It's really stinking cool. You have to go for yourself. They've got other equipment as well that you can check out, that they've got more advanced stuff over the years. But that to me really sold me that there is more than just an anecdotal opinion about what they think. They really do try to use a process of diagnostic questions and actual equipment to figure out what the exact shoe that you need based on your foot, your gait, how you walk, and of course the activity type that you're choosing. So really impressed with their processes. Now, while this is all really cool, it's important to note that they also have great products. They have all of your favorite products there. Now, I'm a personal fan of On Running. My wife loves Brooks, and some folks like Hoka. They've got all kinds of brands, again, shirts, shorts, socks, shoes, all this stuff, all this really cool gear for your outdoor running, jogging, walking activity. But the important thing here is that they have it. You can actually go into their store. They have a wall of shoes, all these selections, all these colors, all these styles, all these brands that you can walk in. And I brought 3 of my staff members to get shoes just the other day, and each one had a different style. They had different goals, and they had shoes that they liked, and they had some shoes that they said, oh, these were good, but I'd like something a little bit different. And man, the staff we keep on asking them for shoes, and they're like, hey, do you have XYZ in this color? And they go back and they bring it out. Do you have XYZ in this color? And it was this really fun game of Tetris, finding the right shoe to fit the right person. But they just kept on bringing boxes and boxes and boxes over for us to try it out. And it was really impressive. I'm not making this up. And that was just an example of why I love working with a local vendor, because they've got it in stock. They have it. And if they don't have it, they'll be upfront and tell you, hey, we can order it, and here's when it's going to come in. They'll be super transparent and give you alternatives if you don't want to wait for the order to come in. But certainly they're willing to wait to make sure that you've got the right shoes. And I want to reiterate that over and over. They're ultimately about you, and that's an important theme that we're seeing here. They're all about you and helping you be successful as a customer. But at the same time, some folks want to walk into a store and maybe they don't have the exact shoe that you have, but they will find you something that's similar style that ultimately meets your ultimate goals and needs. But I just thought it was so impressive that they've got these in stock, and they really do keep all of my favorite brands in stock, the ones that I think are the common trending shoes these days. And I thought that was really neat. And so that's, again, one of the big reasons why I think you should check them out. You can go in there and there's a reasonable assumption that you're going to walk out with a pair of shoes that you're going to love and enjoy and get to literally walk out the store with. So let's talk about number 5. They're a local proprietor. They're a local store. I think it's so important for business owners to have a dream, to have a vision, to have an idea, and then bring it to market. The problem with a vision and a dream is without support, that's just where it stays. A vision and a dream. It's something in your head and in your heart. But it's when you commit to a brick and mortar and hiring employees, that's when it gets real. I think as a business owner, the greatest gift that you can give another business is to support them. There are lots of big box stores out there, and there's lots of opportunities for online shopping. I'm not here to hate those. I think that there are times when that makes sense for folks. They stay in business and they do what they do because they're convenient. But there are some local owners, some local business owners and local stores that are working really, really hard to compete with all these big box stores that have these sort of unlimited budgets, and they're trying to make a living and really provide a living for their staff. And so for me, one of the big reasons that I would recommend you check out and do business with Try Running is for all the reasons that I've said before, right? I really think that they've got good people. I really think that it's personal service. I really think that they've got the right products and the right processes to get those products into your hands or on your feet, but also they're local. Locally owned businesses are the bread and butter of a community. Someone had a vision, someone had a dream, and they are trying to make that dream stay alive. And without us, that's not possible. So I know as a business owner that without my customers, I wouldn't be here. I like to say it this way: you support us as we support you. And I think doing business with companies like Try Running is so important because they're some wonderful folks. I got to sit down with Shelby, the manager, as a part of that Spring into Health series and get to know her a little bit better, get to know their staff a little bit better, and her mom, the owner, a little bit better. And I think getting to know them really endeared me to what they're trying to do, why they're trying to do it, and the fact that I trust them that they are going to do amazing things with you if you watch this video and you head to their store, because I think that's just who they are. They're really about helping customers succeed, and there's that personal interaction that you sometimes don't get. If there's a problem, there are people there, direct people, that are going to help make it right. And if you're in a pinch and you need a solution, they're going to sit down and you're going to get expert and solid opinions and solid recommendations from people who run themselves, who do marathons and do other kinds of events like that. That makes it so much more genuine and authentic and down to earth, and ultimately the reason why we shop local, because it's just a different experience. I'm not against all those others. I think they're great, but I think there's something special about locally owned businesses, and I think that's what makes Try Running so special as an organization. So here's my final thoughts. Getting a chance to rub elbows with all the staff at Try Running, get to know some of the leadership there, and to do a series with them and hear their heart and see the level of expertise that they bring to the table. I just want to say that I wholeheartedly recommend them. My staff all go there to get their shoes. One of the things that I do as a business owner is I provide equipment like subscription to Apple Fitness Plus, shoes at least once or twice a year, Apple Watches, to make sure that my staff can monitor their health journey and we can celebrate each other's milestones. And so having Try Running as a collaborative partner for our series, and of course wanting to promote them as a local business, is why I'm making this video. So if you could take a look at the links in the description below. We've got all their social media and of course their physical address if you want to go and check them out. We hope you enjoy this video. If you do, go ahead and click that like button. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content that we're doing, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with everything that we're producing. As always, we hope that you're doing well. We hope that you're staying safe, and we'll see you in the next one.